So my day starts early in the morning. I try to wake up early, and it's a pleasure if my cat is waiting for me. And guess she is this morning, so I'm gonna love this day. I'm usually quite quick to get out of bed, and I'm not much of a sleeper. I don't like to sleep that much, so I'm really eager to wake up and look at the day that I have ahead of me and the sort of experiences that are awaiting me. And I'm usually that happy in the morning. I'm really happy. So we try to make some aesthetic shot to give you guys a bit of an experience about what kind of day do I spend. So there is me just washing my face, getting ready for the best part of the day. For me, the best part of the day is to just get ready. And the moment I am ready, the first thing I do is I just head out straight to my destination that I love the most, kitchen. That's me and my girl. My biggest motivation to wake up early in the morning is always my cup of coffee because I love my coffee. And once I'm done, I look at my phone, look at all the stuff, and just have my me time with myself. Now, this part of my day is what I call the hermit mode. And as you can see, I'm sitting with my little girl. She is the love of my life. And I can't imagine my day without her, even though I'm really allergic to cats. But guess that's the only kind of toxic love that I can handle. Now, you might be wondering, I didn't do my breakfast. So, usually I avoid my breakfast because before I became a hypnotherapist, I was a fitness trainer and a nutritionist. So, I have a lot of understanding about fitness, and my body type is an endomorph. So, that means my metabolism is quite slow. I gain weight really fast. Based upon my lifestyle, I figured out the best fitness routine that actually helps me to stay lean and muscular is I do a lot of intermittent fasting. So I wouldn't eat for like 16 to 18 hours, and I would skip my breakfast and lunch. And in the meantime, I'll just have my black coffee because I love coffee. Now, black coffee is the reason that I wake up early in the morning and I have all that motivation because all I'm thinking about in the morning is let's get that cup of coffee. And then by the afternoon, I do my workout and then I eat at like 7 p.m. or something. First thing that I do in the morning is I check my phone, look for my team's messages, and see what's the plan for the day. So right now, I have way too many sessions to give today. Usually, at this part of the day, I decide what am I gonna do, how many sessions do I have to give, and who do I have to give my sessions to. And I study their files as well. So at times, I'll be just studying their files and observing what is the approach that I can take with this particular client. And then my team tells me like, hey, this content is going great, how about you create a content like that. So we sort of like develop a lot of ideas about the sort of content that we should be creating and how can we add value to the people that are following us and how can we address their concerns. In my hermit mode, I'm usually like planning. I don't reply to anyone while I'm checking all of this because when I am in my hermit mode, I don't really talk to anyone. All I'm doing is enjoying the cup of coffee, and with that I just sort of look at the sort of a day I'm going to have ahead and to plan that particular day, like what am I going to do and the sort of content I'm going to make. And then I do something that a lot of the people might find controversial, but that's what I do. So I follow a lot of astrology and I even know a lot of astrology as well. And being a hypnotherapist, I work in a really spiritual domain because hypnotherapy in itself is a very spiritual domain and it's an occult based practice. So I look into astrology and I can understand how astrology works. Now, I don't talk about astrology in my content because many people wouldn't even understand the connection, but there is a really big connection of astrology with our subconscious mind. It's sort of like external influences and studying the probability of external influences. And the way I like to approach astrology is I sort of have these detailed notes with me and I just look at my notes on a daily basis, like what are the probabilities of stuff or event that are going to happen today. And I just go through that and plan my day ahead. Now, many of you might be wondering, hey, if you are into astrology, what's your rising sign? So I'm a Sag rising, Leo sun, and a Gemini moon. So I tend to just observe what's happening in the cosmos and what is there to come and how should I prepare myself. The way I look at astrology is not in a way like when am I going to meet my soulmate, or when am I going to get the money. I don't usually do that. So what I prefer to do instead is I tend to understand the energies or the external influences, and with that I decide where I need to push and where I need to pull. So it's sort of like deciding when to go on the offense and when to go on the defense. So I don't take astrology as an absolute outcome. So what I tend to do is just understand the influences and then do whatever you have to do to reach to your outcomes. So I use astrology in a way like I have my own manifestation list. So I just look at astrology and be like, what are the probabilities of that coming true in this time frame? And then I push that particular manifestation a little harder if I know that the external influences are also favoring it. And that sort of does a lot of the magic. But I don't talk about that in my content because I realize it's going to deviate my audience towards a whole new domain that is really broad to understand, and it is very dynamic, very broad, and it is something that will require a lot of education. Then also I do something else at this particular time of my day. So what I'll do is I'll just look at my learning objectives, and now people would be like, oh, so you are so progressive, how come you stay so progressive? Actually, I naturally have that passion to learn about the occult science. What I tend to do is I'll just go around some research papers and people who are doing some research in occult based science and etc, and just refer to people who are doing some progressive research within the field of occult science and spiritual science, and I'll just study their methods. And with all the knowledge that I have with regards to hypnotherapy, I'll just be like, what if I could do that, and how will that influence my reality? So there is a lot of trial and error that I do behind the scene that many of the people don't even realize. Most of the people go like, maybe he just studies a lot of books. It's not the books. Actually, I actually study the research papers because I think books are quite outdated. Once the information becomes mainstream, it is published in the book. However, research papers are focusing on new advancements. It takes a bit of a time for that information to get validated, and once it gets validated, it's published in the book. So I prefer research papers. So quite recently, I have been into human design chart. Now, human design chart is a very new practice. Not a lot of the people understand about it, but I think I have a great interest in human design chart because it tells you a lot about how your body, how your human design is connected with the universe, and how your subconscious mind process information, what are the unique qualities that you have, the sort of things that can actually make you feel great about your life. And within the human design chart, I figured out I'm a reflector, quite rare of my kind. So being a reflector, I am the original psychic. And I think that comes really naturally to me. I can read people flawlessly, not just at the psychological level. I can understand their emotional feelings within any given time. I can understand the vibration. I can understand. Now, all of these things that I'm talking about, they took me a lot of the time to understand how to master this. And I think I learned so many ways to read people that it becomes nearly very scary for a lot of the people when they realize I can read them at so many different levels. And I think that's one of my passions, so I really love that. And once I'm done highlighting my learning objectives for the day, and it can be as little as someone talking about how our subconscious mind process pain, or how our subconscious mind can reverse a particular pain, anything that is related to my niche. And I would be like, all right, let's just see what this person has to say, and I'll just try to understand what that person is trying to say, and try to extract some information that I think will add more value to my practice. And for the information that I already know, I just skip it along. And for the information that I already know, it's just a great revision. So I do that a lot. And just like many other people, the rest of my hermit mode, while I'm having my coffee, I'm just looking at some Instagram reels, entertaining myself. And my feed is filled with a lot of dance. So I love to dance. So my Instagram reel is just filled with shuffle dance and this and that. So yeah, that's pretty much how I start my day. Now it's time for the workout. And as soon as I'm done with planning my day, the first thing I do is start my workout. And I love skipping rope. That is my passion. So you can see a lot of the shots of me skipping the rope. And at the time, I thought I'm gonna make the world record, but someone else did. That's a challenge for some other day. So I do all of this workout while I am intermittent fasting, and that is really important for me because I like to burn the fat off the natural way. And once I'm done, the first thing I do is start my meditation and healing. That's a cool shot, I guess. And once I'm done with that, I start attending to all my clients. So this time is for me to focus on my clients, look at the meetings that I have, and address concerns of my clients. Due to my global clientele, I usually have to adjust my time and just go with the flow. Now, I asked a lot of my followers to ask me questions so that I can address those questions in this video, and I have few. And we tried our level best to shorten up the questions, and the questions that were really long, we couldn't answer those. But here are a few questions that we thought are really valuable, and these will give you a lot of insight into what you can do. So the first question I have is how to live a trauma-free life. And you might have observed even in my routine that not only do I look after my physical health, but I also look out for my mental health. And this is really important. If you want to live a trauma free life, there is no solution like you do something today and for the rest of your life you're going to be trauma free. The real magic is you have to incorporate mental health practice within your day. So in my line of work, I do instant healing hypnosis. So on a daily basis, I am healing myself. I'm trying to make sure that I have no negative emotions inside of me. If I have any kind of blockage, I try to remove that, and I try to make sure that I have no negative emotion during any time of the day, because we attract what we feel inside, and I don't want to attract anything that is not in alignment with what I desire. Now, the second question is, why is your program so expensive? Two reasons. Number one, it removes your subconscious ego. It shows your commitment. It makes sure that you are going to follow the instructions. This is really important. When you pay higher for something, your subconscious ego is gone. You are no longer trying to criticize or skeptically analyze anything. You just go with the flow and you are expecting good results, so placebo effect happens. And secondly, it shows me that you are committed to the program. And lastly, who doesn't like to earn more? And I read few comments, they were like, hey, this guy is really money minded and he's charging really high. Bro, do you work for free? Of course not. And if you're good at something, never do it for free. The only thing that I offer free is the free mini therapy session. In that, it's only designed for me to understand your subconscious mind map and make sure that you are 100% committed to the program. So it's only for me. A lot of the people sign up for a free mini therapy session thinking that I'll give them some tips and hypnosis. It can be done in 30 minutes. Now, the third question is, how does your program always give successful results? And I think it's related to my previous answer. The reason why I'm able to give 100% of the result all the time is because of my process to enroll people into my program. I usually tell people not to enroll into my program if you are not 100% sure that this program can help you out. The reason I do this is because if you are 100% sure that this program is going to work for you, you are going to be really committed and you will do exactly as I ask you to do. And whatever I'm asking you to do is scientific practices. The result is always there. So it's all about making sure that I only enroll people into my program that are going to do exactly as I say. And if I find those people, I enroll them into my program. However, a lot of the time, I and my team, we refuse a lot of the people because we know that if we enroll these people into the program, they might not be committed. Their subconscious conditioning is not right. And because of that, their time will be wasted, my time will be wasted. So that's the reason that my program gives 100% of the result, because I don't enroll everyone into it. Now, the fourth question is, what can we do to make sure we have a healthy relationship for the rest of our life? I think the answer is quite simple. We all have certain pattern with regards to who we get attracted to. Like in my case, whenever I am out on a date, I will get really attracted to a woman if she has a lot of confidence. But I realize that often makes me want to neglect the red flags that they have. So I realize that even though I'm attracted to people's confidence, I need to make sure that their subconscious mind is also healthy. So the one thing that I learned is, and with experience from a lot of the client, is if you want to have a healthy relationship for the rest of your life, first of all, you need to understand yourself. You need to understand what attracts you toward the other person. You need to understand what your subconscious pattern is. You need to reflect on your past relationship. And only once you heal your subconscious mind, only then will you be able to have a healthy relationship, because we attract what we feel inside. And if you have any kind of trauma inside your subconscious mind, that is what you're going to attract. So to live a healthy relationship for the rest of your life, heal your subconscious mind. And remember, healing is not a destination, it's a journey. You need to do it on a daily basis to make sure that your subconscious mind is trauma free. Now the last question is, why are there so many testimonials from your program saying they got their ex back? Now, this is a very great question, and I really wanted to answer this because I know a lot of my clients have been able to manifest their ex back because they healed their subconscious mind and they were able to attract whatever they were looking for. But remember one thing, guys, I have said this in a couple of my videos, that once we heal our subconscious mind, we attract what we feel inside. However, our subconscious mind also knows who do we truly desire. So it will try to manifest that person into our life. But it will only succeed if your attraction towards that particular person is not a result of trauma bond, which means that you were attracted to that person as a result of your trauma. Only if you were attracted to a person who wasn't a representation of your trauma, you will be able to attract that person into your life. But I do not promote my program as get your ex back program, because everyone would expect that. However, what actually happens is, the very first session people have with me, and I remove their father wound and their mother wound, and if they were attracted to that particular person as a result of their trauma bond, their attraction is gone. They are no longer seeking to attract their ex. However, if someone really wants to manifest their ex, I wouldn't promise that in my program, but that can happen. That depends upon if you were the one nurturing your partner to behave in alignment with your trauma bond, or you were naturally attracted towards a person who represented your trauma. So in case you were nurturing your partner, and once we heal your subconscious mind, your relationship will heal. You might be able to attract your ex as well. A lot of the people have done it. I have done it. I wouldn't recommend that. And once I'm done with all the work, I like to spend my time going out if I have a date, or spend my day with my lovely cat, and I love playing with her. Say hi to the camera, and I'll see you guys soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video and leave a lovely comment to show some love. Bye bye.